Hello everyone and welcome to this playthrough for Pro and Expert Division in the forthcoming EuroTrip tournament here on the BK Golf Clash YouTube channel. Hope you are all doing well as always, and I'm going to give you replays and adjustments, videos and adjustments on screen for all 9 holes. Now don't forget, in this tournament we have 9 different courses, so you're going to have to get your head around all the different scenarios and some options we can play on these holes as well. Some nice opportunities for eagles, some tough par 5s as well, and some interesting choice among the par 3s. So this one is going to be very exciting indeed. Please check out the rest of the content on the channel homepage, and I hope you do well in the EuroTrip. Please leave me a comment and let me know how you're getting on. Please bear in mind these are not necessarily indicative of the tournament wind conditions. These are general wind angles from the archives here on the channel, and we will give you some alternatives and also talk you through some different routes where appropriate as we go along. Here we go then, let's get started with hole number 1. 2 options here on hole number 1. I'm going to start with an aggressive route for those that have Apocalypse level 4 and above. Going with just over 5 bars topspin and 3 bars side spin to the right. And then I'm going to find my position, stretching out to have the blue ring touching the bunker with APOC level 5. At rest, it is the red ring touching the bunker. The adjustment is max plus 15, so max plus 15. And to make this equivalent with an Apocalypse level 4, you would push up to max, but with APOC 5 plus, because it has 6 more yards, I pull back to plus 10, otherwise I may go too long. Full overpower, full right curl, hit perfect. And you'll see here the ball bounces nicely, not threatening the bunker or the rough, and the topspin takes us along with the curl, approaching the rough on the far side without risking going too far. 403 yards. From there you will play Endbringer School 20% elevation. If you don't know that method, check out my quick fire tutorial on the channel homepage. Now if you don't have the Apocalypse and you want to play a layup version instead, then we're going to use the quarterbacks. We don't need distance, but accuracy is always good. Playing with a Kingmaker, 3 bars right spin and just over 3 bars back spin here. In fact, I indeed then changed to a Katana in Pro, but Expert, of course, you will need really to play with a Kingmaker to keep the wind down. Blue ring touching the rough and also the bunker at the same time with quarterback level 10. And the adjustment here is mid distance, 10% elevation. So mid plus 10. Don't need to go with any overpower here. We like the quarterback for the accuracy because a great left and a great right is still going to be fine as well. Now we're going to write down drive distance. This was taken from a previous tournament, so that's how I've worked out this adjustment. 255 yards. I was using that to dial in this second shot, but if you don't use drive distance, you can play with an estimate of true club distance instead, which is why it's got TC on the screen. So find the max line, find the minimum line, add the spin. I'm going with a little bit of back spin and 3 left spin. Going with the Grizzly because I want to see the ball guide past the pin and then curl around back down to the hole. I'm going to use a very nice funnel and a slope that is above the pin. Now for that drive distance here, this one is played 74% slider. Blue ring touching the rough is an additional reference point. But like I said, if you're not dialing in with drive distance, estimate your true club distance as best you can. It is 50% elevation. That's because there is quite a hefty second bounce here because we're bouncing past the pin and back down. So with the crosswind as well, we need plenty of adjustment on this one. So in between mid and max in this instance, 74% slider plus 50 drops very nicely for an eagle with that layup version on hole number 1. On to Drummore Links then with this par 3. In tailwind you can use the Goliath and bounce over instead. In headwind, any form of headwind, it's going to be the Sniper, but be careful you don't go in between clubs here. As you can see, I'm playing from the exact minimum distance line with a power 3 ball. Adding my spin, offsetting deliberately because the wind is going to push me to the right. Minimum distance line, red ring touching the rough. The adjustment I go with here is min plus 30. If you want to play more aggressively, there is a rough bump beyond the bunker there, but the strip of rough is fairly thin and a great ball may result in you going into the sand or missing the rough completely. So only play that one if you really want to go aggressive on this hole. Slight tweak needed here, very good speed, but just needed a little bit more adjustment on this par 3. But a decent chance, even if you are just bouncing over a nice flat green to attack the pin on hole number 2. Hole number 3, a very tough hole to get an albatross on, and in a lot of cases we just want to secure the eagle on this one. Pretty nice wind angle here. Obviously headwind is quite difficult on this, so I would recommend a kingmaker, even maybe more than that if you've got a luminary or a bubba ball. That will help, especially up in expert. Stretching out, I'm always going to go with 3 left spin on the drive here. If you don't have the apocalypse, of course, we'll give you more curl. Extra mile 8, max curl there, hitting perfect, and the adjustment is max 10. We bounce over the stream, directly over the rough, and rolls out as well. You don't need to put too much topspin on here. There is a potential of rolling too far and going into the rough. If you're finding the rough or the sand, you are not going to reach the green in 2 for the eagle, and that is going to put your eagle at risk. Second shot, regardless of wind angle, it is really going to be with a 180-yard wood club, unless you really want to push the drive and go with the sniper and a power 5 ball. But most cases, big dog or cataclysm. A bit of topspin and some left spin. There's 2 options here. If it's a nasty wind angle, go with a lot more topspin and have the second bounce in the rough, and then roll out to the fringe or the green for a very simple end bringer wedge or a putt. But with wind angle that's a little bit more favourable, you can bounce directly over with less topspin, which is what I'm doing here. Max plus 0 on this one, max plus 0. If you have headwind, you may adjust into overpower, which is why we favour going with more topspin and doing a bounce and roll out from the rough, because we don't really want to play with overpower here, especially with less accurate clubs. But the second bounce is comfortably over there. We're not attacking the pin here, and I'm not looking to. I'm just wanting to get on the green and secure the eagle on this tricky par 5. On to the Nordic Fjords for hole number 4. Tricky little hole, this one. A couple of ways to play here is one of them with the sniper. And we're going with plenty of backspin from the right hand pad. You can attack this pin from the left as well, but with that little slope on the right of the green, I find the right hand pad a little bit easier. You can also play with the Guardian here as well. If you haven't got high level sniper, you can play it with a lower level Guardian as well. For those who want to go down the premium ball route, there are some nice shots here that I've seen with the backspin boost ball playing directly onto the green with the rocket. A very nice option there if you've got those balls and you want to use them. Max plus 25 on this one. The backspin grabs almost a little too much. We just sneak it in their left edge of cup for a hole in 1 on hole number 4. 2 options coming away for hole number 5, and I'm going to start with an aggressive topspin boost option, especially good for those playing in expert. Don't usually recommend premium balls, but I'm going to start to incorporate them a little bit more because they are very popular and will give you a brilliant advantage in tournaments, particularly in the tougher brackets. They are part of the game now and will continue to evolve as well. So this is max topspin plus 2 topspin boost. Going with a Thor ball here, it's power 5. It is wind 0 and it has topspin boost as well. You don't necessarily have to have an APOC level 7. You could actually have a go here with the extra mile level 9, which would suit less developed accounts. The adjustment is max plus 10. I stretch out to find my position, and then I push up according to wind strength, as this was taken from previous tournaments. 3/4 of a ball of curl to the right. With more wind strength, you wouldn't need to push up as far, which would mean you would have a slightly slower needle, but a great left, great right would still be fine with this club. And we're going to do a good few bounces there, cutting the corner over the rough and the bunker, and it rolls on to the green. We're going to be putting for a lovely albatross on hole 5. The design of this hole in tailwind, even if it's not totally direct tailwind, brilliant chance for aggressive play with a topspin boost ball. Now, for those that want to go free to play, you've got 2 choices. You can still play the left side, or you can play dead ahead on the right hand side with topspin. If you don't have 6 topspin available, a big topper is very good for pro division as well. 1 bar side spin to the left, adding spin, aiming right down the middle of that piece of fairway. We're just max plus 10 on this one. You don't have to have the apocalypse. Extra mile is good here in level 8, will give you 6 topspin. So would the Thor's hammer. If you have low level extra mile, you could go with a bit of overpower, providing you've got room to do so. Perfect ball away. This is going to bounce over very nicely. This one is from my streaming archive, so the replay is a little bit jumpy. Apologies for that, but it will give you an indication of the play route that I'm suggesting. 376 yards. Second shot from there is going to be leaving a shot with your sniper. I would suggest playing this one true club distance, so find the min line, find the max line as well. There are some nice areas that you can bounce down here, very good route to the pin. If you want to, you could play with the rough bump as well, but I would suggest to try the bounce down first, bouncing on the fairway. Find a nice spot here and then add your spins accordingly. Crosswind here, this one is slightly misadjusted. I would suggest here, and the adjustment I've put on the screen, mid plus 10, but it will need a tweak depending what wind angle you've got as well. But it gives you an idea of how you might want to approach this hole. Perfect ball away, and the wind is going left to right here. Let's see how this shot comes in. Decent speed, just missing it on the left, though slightly over adjusted in this instance, but a good indication of an alternative route if you don't want to go full blast with a top spin boost ball, or indeed if the wind doesn't allow you to do so. Hole number 6, and the best chance to get an eagle on this one is in decent wind angles to go aggressive, as I do here with the Berserker. Plenty of top spin, side spin to the left as well, and we're stretching out, finding our position. We want to bounce over that rough and where the pink bushes are there. Adjust max plus 10. I am then going to push back up to max to gain myself a bit more distance, as this is low wind taken from Pro Division. Full overpower, half a ball of curl to the left. If you have a nasty wind angle, you're going to have to play on the left hand side with top spin. The big topper is good for that, or a high level Thor's hammer. You can do a double bounce there. But then you're going to be approaching with a wood club or a long iron. It's very difficult to get an eagle from the left side, which is why if you're able to play aggressively with a high power ball, with overpower and top spin, that is the best way to try and get the eagle. 463 yards. Second shot, I'm going to go with a dunk. You can play with a wedge if you're a bit nearer the hole as well. I'm counting up rings from min. 5 at a time, although I did it pretty quickly. We got to 17 rings from min until the bullseye is absolutely at the pin. Playing for the dunk, which is something that isn't for everybody, but I like the dunk shots as well. So max backspin, arrows inside the back of the cup. If you've never played a dunk before, check out my tutorial on the Academy playlist on the channel homepage. 17 rings from min, we've got a tutorial on that as well if that's a new method. 17% slider, it's 1% per ring from min. With the thorn, minus 20% elevation. The reason we play negative elevation is we're going to want to get the ball directly in the hole, so you're taking out the second bounce wind effect. So 17% slider, minus 20% elevation, boom, goes right in the cup for an eagle on this par 4. And over to France we go for the Chateau Lavande par 3, hole number 7. Playing with a Kingmaker here, just to keep the wind down a little bit. In expert, a wind 5 or a wind 4 will help you as well, so that you're not making too big of an adjustment. Ball guideline to hole with the spins added. You'll see the yellow ring fits beautifully there between the bunker and the edge of the rough. So those are my two references, landing position and spin with the ball guide. And then we're going to adjust mid plus 10, power 3, which is equivalent to 1 on 1, and you'll see that on the notepad there. 5.7 in wind, we go 5.7 rings. What could be simpler? If you don't want to play the rough bump, you will play a bounce with backspin instead on the fairway, but the best chance of a hole-in-one here is absolutely the rough bump, and it will work in all wind angles. You will need more adjustment in headwind angles as well, but that's something to deal with next week when we know the angles that we are playing with in the tournament stages. Drops beautifully for a hole-in-one on this par 3. Hole number 8, Porthello Cove. One of the trickier courses, but this is thankfully one of the easier holes and an excellent opportunity to grab an eagle if you know what you're doing. Now, if you don't have the Apocalypse here, and you will need a lot of curl on this one, then you can play a hook shot with the extra mile. You would have to aim way out to the right where those rocks are off the edge of the screen, and you play with a full hook. You've still got an opportunity if you don't have APOC, but APOC 4 will work nicely, playing with all of 3 left spin here with the katana and a good amount of top spin as well. We're just max plus 10, we're going full left curl and we are hitting perfect. We want to bounce there nicely before the rough, over the hazards, and then just curving in with that slope, approaching the green area. From there, you're going to have a very easy end bringer wedge, 20% elevation with the no spin method. Occasionally you may be on the green as well, but you need to go aggressive on this one, pretty much in all wind angles, to be honest. Try and get yourself into wedge range for the eagle. Hole number 9, if we haven't got a good amount of tailwind, and I would play in that case on the left hand side, then I'm going to play this route, which I'm going to show you with the rock on the right hand side. Still a tough albatross though. This route really is a safe eagle, but like I said, there's no point going left side unless you've got the wind direction for it. So we're going to play with the rock for ball guide and accuracy, playing just before max distance with the rock level 9. This is at +9, but that means that with the rock level 7 you could also make this shot as well, and maybe even with the rock level 6. At just max +5, lower level rock you will be taken into overpower, but there's no reason to say you couldn't make this shot with an extra mile as well if you've got lower clubs. Half a ball of curl to the right. Good thing about the rock though, you've got the accuracy, you've got your ball guide, and that is nice on this drive because we're not going to threaten anything with a great ball. We don't want to roll too far because it does slope downhill, but 318 yards from the middle tee is absolutely fine. Second shot, you will need a wood club with distance, slight headwind angle here, so we're going to find our position, add spin. Here you'll see I'm going to go with 3 bars side spin to the left and just tweaking the top spin so that that second bounce is comfortably beyond the rough, because the headwind angle that we have here will push us slightly short. Cliff is in the way, so as I did on the drive, I'm going to push adjust the rings. If you've played left hand side, you've got a sniper rough bump with a power 5 ball, most likely because you would need that to get distance on your drive with a load of topspin. So here, this is really the safe eagle route. Going to have to play with a bit of overpower though, so we do want to knuckle down and hit perfect there with our max +50 adjustment. Yes, very hefty adjustment. This is massively downhill, not just to the first bounce, but also down there, second bounce onto the green. We're not threatening the pin. Am I wanting to threaten the pin with this shot? No, I just want to get on the green for the eagle. So if you've got a nasty wind angle, that's the way to go. Get your eagle, secure it, don't worry about the albatross. If you have tailwind, by all means go aggressive down the left. Try and end your round with a -3 on hole number 9. Thank you very much for watching this playthrough. I do hope you've found it useful, and please do share with your friends and clanmates in the game if you feel that the content here will help them out as well. Finally, join us for free, totally free. BK Golf Clash on Facebook. Go over there, type us into the search bar and join. Over 10,000 members, free guides, shot sharing, replays, discussion points, and loads more to get involved in. If you don't want to discuss anything yourself, you can just enjoy the free stuff there and have a look at what is posted. But loads of people there to help you out regardless of your skill level. So do join us over there as well. Thank you for watching and good luck. See you soon. Bye for now.